United States, we're having abortion rights being taken away on a state-by-state basis. I was wondering what was the European reaction in general to, maybe even the French reaction in general to the film. Is it a more insightful, like we empathize with the character and we understand what they're going through, or do you still face the same divisive situations?
Actually, there is two ways to see that movie. For one, it's some kind of experience related to art. For other, it will be more political, and I guess it depends on where you live and maybe how old you are, because some of the women who came and see the movie in France, they were young women, and some of them went through the same experience in the 60s. So there is two ways to see it, but we also remember that 2 days ago it was election day in our country, and the extreme right side was too close to winning. So, and nobody knows what would happen to those women's rights if they were in charge. So we see the world changing and going backward all the time regarding on different countries. So nobody is completely secure talking about that today.
Do you find in your personal life, when people have seen this movie, that that you're having different types of discussions with them regarding the subject of the film?
Very lucky to be part of a generation that is very aware of those kind of topics. And I think that for those who doesn't know how the real process actually goes, as I did, because I had no idea about it, and I felt very ignorant on that topic, and I felt really guilty and angry against me and my lack of knowledge. And I think that this movie shows things as they are and the reality without looking away. And I think it's very important to have this kind of films for those who doesn't actually know. And I think that if it opens the discussion and if it clarifies things, it's actually the best. Yeah.
Audrey, what about people like a little older, and how they're viewing it? Do you find that you're having interesting
You mean people of my age?
Well, you're only 3 years older. There's only 3 years apart.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, again, I think that something has changed, because when the movie was first published, beginning of 2000, Annie Ernaux told me that no journalist would talk about it. It was still too early, and it was still so taboo and silent that nobody would talk about it. Now I feel that things are slightly changing, and it's good. Of course, the Golden Lion, the day we won the Golden Lion, changed a lot because it brought a lot of light on the topic, and then people are talking about it. But I think we're more open to have that kind of discussion. We don't fear it anymore. And even I mean, on my way to Venice, I was still asking myself whether I would say out loud or not when I had an abortion. And then I realized that even working against silence for like 3 years, I was still feeling that social shame that would remain me silent. So yeah, I think we are all changing, but it's a step-by-step process.
Why do you think men remain blameless in this situation? Because it's always focused on the women, and it takes two to tango, as they say.
As long as in front of the doctor you're alone, as long as in front of your own body you're alone, something is split in between men and women. I mean, I deeply believe in equality, but there is something there that will make it always somehow be a life change for a girl. I mean, it's 9 months of a body changing if you decide to have the kid. So, and then, I mean, it's all about education. Then men were raised thinking it's the woman's problem. So one side you have the body changing that makes two experiences be different, and on the other side we've got men education thinking if it happened in a girl's body, then it's not our problem. So yeah, I mean, we need to share experience. We need to talk a lot in order not to have men and women be a part on that kind of topic. And, you know, opening discussion is everything we wanted to do with the movie. So
What did you get out of the book that you actually didn't even tell Audrey, but you wanted to bring into the character and create?
tells me everything.
You know, I read the book and except for the scene that I was talking about, it was very detailed, and I tried to refer more to the script than the book because we both created a new character from it. And I think that if I decided to be, you know, close to the book, and I'd be in a sort of imitation game, and I wouldn't have the freedom enough to adapt and to make my own character and to be free in my acting and my performance. I think that it would have been more opinion.
Yeah, no, it would have not be helping us.
Yeah.
Restraining.
What is the feedback you're getting primarily? I mean, is it a general feedback, or does it depend on generation and time of life and things like
I
that?
think we have a general feedback of people going through the movie as an experience, like they're moved. I think it's people, the natural audience of the movie is the people who loves movie to give strong feelings, you know. But I am talking about pain and desire because there is light in the movie also, you know, and great expectations. So all the people that comes out of the screening always share their own experience in the way they were moved. And I don't think anyone, actually we're lucky because no one reject the movie. It's more different reaction regarding if we're talking about men or women, young or old, where they feel convened, how we convene their own body, you know.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2022.